there's whole generations out here, whole generations that didn't even know what a Monkey King was. Yeah, talking about what the guy that looks like that Goku fellow. Yeah, Black Myth Wukong put the Monkey King back on the map. Yeah, ancient lore for people. Yeah,
the only thing bad about Arcane is that it's based off League of Legends. That's the only thing bad about it. Is that you watch Arcane?
I'm not part of that when they come to you. Yeah,
as I've said before, follow the money and never underestimate the sales numbers of Nintendo.
Hello, hey everyone, and welcome to the Melanin Gamers podcast. I'm here with almost the full squad today. I'm here with OG Otaku.
Yeah.
Obsidian Fury.
What's going on, squad?
And Zen.
Yo, it's Zen.
And it's your girl, Creatively Anzi. I'm the hostess with the mostest, and this is the Melanin Gamers podcast. We are going to be talking about our predictions for the nominations for Game of the Year, and all of the best adaptations, best multiplayer, all that good stuff. And what we think is going to win and how it tallies with what we previously suspected, because obviously now that the nominations are actually out, we can see that some of us were right, some of us were hopeful. That would be me. But let's start off with the best adaptations, and the nominations are Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. So who do we think is going to win? OJ Taco game.
Okay, first off, I love Yakuza, and it's the only thing on this list I haven't seen yet. But going through all of these shows, I think a few of you guys will agree with me that, I love Fallout. I would say that's probably second best. Arcane is probably going to win it, though. Let's be real. Like, Arcane... we gotta say probably.
Who do you want to win, and then who do you think is actually going to win? Because that's a bit different.
Ooh. I would like Yakuza to win because I love, even though I ain't seen it yet, I love anything about Yakuza just to get big. So that, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Who do I think's going to win? Arcane, because let's be real, Arcane has just slapped as a show and has really broken the boundaries of the video game adaptation not being good kind of deal. So shout out to Riot Games, because for a MOBA game, MOBA games, I don't know, not to diss people that play MOBA games, but they're not that actiony, you know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah, see, there you go. But no, they're not producing action combat like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, Arcane as a show, I think will definitely take home the gold in best adaptation, with Fallout being a close second, 100%, because I know many people that didn't know what a Fallout was until that show dropped, and it just hooked people in, and now they got all those games to discover. It's great.
Obsidian Fury, I heard you disagreeing with OG Taco just then about MOBA games.
That's like saying chess isn't fun because it's not actiony. Like, chess it's mind games. That's where the fun is, okay? When you're watching a MOBA game, you have to watch the tactics and the techniques and all the things that they use to try and outsmart their players. You can't just go in with your reflexes to try and win. So
I didn't say it's not fun. Yeah, I didn't say it's not fun. I just said it doesn't do action like that.
It does do action. Maybe, you know what? You're an anime nerd, so you just need explosions. You're a Michael Bay stan, okay? That's what you need. If you need explosions, go over there, okay?
Disrespectful.
It's true, okay? If you want mindless action, go watch the latest Fast and Furious film, okay? If you
I know none of Michael Bay's work.
Transformers. But anyway, okay, we're getting off topic, okay? Because I refuse to have any kind of insults, okay? So, when it comes to MOBAs. Now, I love when we get to explore different kinds of cultures. So Like a Dragon Yakuza, that was something I really wanted to do better. But I think with Shogun being there and it having so many accolades, I think that's going to satisfy that aspect of me. But Fallout picked the wrong year to release because Arcane slapped it out the park. It's not even a competition. Fallout was a great adaptation from the source material all the way up to the pacing of the actual series, to the characters, to the storyline. Everything about that was great, okay? Arcane, 0% French, 100% vibes. I have never genuinely felt from a story that much empathy and that much like everything about that was great. Everything about Arcane from season 1 to 2. And the one thing I always say about fiction, like fictional pieces, is it's about how they end. And the way Arcane ended, like some
No
people
spoilers though.
of course, some people are happy, some people are sad, but it's like the beauty in the writing of that show really stands to testament. The only thing bad about Arcane is that it's based off League of Legends. that's the only thing bad about it. Is that you watch Arcane.
I'm not part of that when they
No,
come
I
to
don't
you,
care.
yeah?
I'm standing by
Oh,
you.
but when I
Arcane.
said it's not actually like that, I catch
No.
smoke, yeah.
No. Because there's MOBAs, then there's League of Legends. There's just something about League of Legends that brings out the worst of humanity. I don't know what it is. Okay, MOBAs and like a lot of first-person shooters. I'm looking at you, COD. It's just something about it that brings out the worst in us. And I'm there too. I play some MOBAs, and I'm like, why am I so angry at my teammates for not backing that kill? So I get it. Okay, so I would say, and the best part about Arcane is that they're not even done yet. We're hearing spoilers about how the next is going to be set in Noxus. There's going to be different settings, new characters coming to light. So if
No, that was it. That was the final season.
No, for Arcane. Arcane that's the final season, but the actual like larger franchise, they're not done yet. There's no way. They've made far too much money to be done with it, and then we're hearing rumors. Okay, so with that being said, and there was too many open-ended stories. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but there's too many. There's threads that can be pulled from the ending that can create its own shows. That's what I'm saying. So no spoilers, but that's what I'm saying. So from that aspect, I do think they're gonna do more with that kind of franchise and that kind of layout.
All right. So what do you think? What do you want to win, and what do you think is actually going to win then?
I wanted Fallout to win because I felt that Fallout was the first of its kind, and Arcane already got its accolades last year with the season 1. But season 2, just the ending about it, everything, it was just perfection. It was absolute, as my friends would say, it was absolute cinema. Like I can't like I agree, it was absolute cinema. And I can't fault that. I'm like, you deserve flowers, my guy. You deserve everything. So please give them the flowers that they deserve.
Did you furry fangirl, fanboy?
Absolutely. I have never ever like one of my favorite characters, Echo. I have never ever like been so like in tune with one character because like just like the conversations that could be had from that development alone. Like I'm telling you, okay, for all the mandem, yeah, I'm gonna be putting some game. Go on your first date and then tell the girl, would you rather give up heaven or go through hell? Then you bring up Echo's story and you're winning. I'm telling you right now, okay? This is game on game. And that is what Arcane can do. I'm telling you, okay, see me, yeah, when I go on a date, I watch a movie and I go have dinner. If you watch Arcane Act 3, we're gonna be talking until midnight. I'm telling you, it's that easy, bro. I could go put on all the threads. I'm telling you, that is how good this show is. I don't care what anybody says.
All right. Zen, what about you? Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to win?
I think everyone kind of summed it up. I think we know who most likely gonna win. Fallout would have been up there. Like I actually enjoyed Fallout, but as it goes, and I think in terms of just how everything was constructed in general, it will be hard to kind of argue and say, nah, like who we are now saying is gonna win. Like they should win anyway. If that makes sense. It's like you gave them a challenge, yeah, cool. Maybe next year you depend because obviously Fallout did well. Maybe okay, greenlit for more productions. Maybe next year. You never know.
Probably.
So you just got to see. I feel like it's been, and I think it's been actually very good because of late. I feel like a lot of the adaptations for games have been putting a bit of question mark in people's minds, like, are we really like what's going on with you gamers? I thought these are meant to have some sick storylines, and then a lot of the shows a lot of the series were flopping. So it's kind of good to see ones where like even people who are not into gaming are just like, do you know what? I might actually pick this up and see it's almost like, like when people go and watch a book, read a movie, and then people are now like, no, you need to read the book to understand it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like happening with that. It's good to see films like that. Whereas we say, oh, this is a film that this is a game that we used to play, and they go and watch it and they're just like, mid, very mid. Is this the kind of thing that you play? You took hours that took hours of your time, and you're just kind of just sitting there like, yeah, I can't argue with you. So I feel like it's a breath of fresh air to see like actual good adaptations.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like no one's mentioned Knuckles, which would have gotten my vote. But of course, I agree. Arcane was insane. That ending was
Yeah, beautiful.
it was beautifully done from season 1 to 2. Like
Mhm.
as a story, it was beautifully like it was just chef's kiss. They hit it right out the park with that, and
Cinema.
it's it it was pure cinema. It was beautifully done, so beautifully done. But I really, really enjoyed Knuckles. I like Knuckles as a character as well, so maybe there's a bit of bias there. I also enjoyed Tomb Raider. All of them are really good. Person who's really winning here is Sega because they have both Knuckles and Yakuza up there. So there's that part of the story. No one's going to win next year because Last of Us is coming out. Last of Us 2 is coming out next year. So that's who's winning next year, that's for sure. All right. Moving on to Best Multiplayer. Best Multiplayer, there's the nominations are Call of Duty. Sorry.
Wow, that's crazy. Crazy.
Sorry. That was a Freudian slip. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. Who do we think is going to win? I'm going to go to Dark Knight there because Warhammer is up there. I mean, sorry, Helldivers. Oh, that's actually a close one.
Exactly. Those are my two options because I think that Helldivers, as in when we say best multiplayer, I'm going to use the same categorization that I would use for game. What multiplayer defined the year? And I think Helldivers 2, even though there was controversy, I think Helldivers 2 had more of an impact than Black Ops 6 and Space Marine 2. I think Space Marine, the Warhammer 40k, I think did justice to the Warhammer franchise when it comes to, and I think Space Marine 2, I don't think people played it for the multiplayer per se. I think they played it for the single player. Even though I know the multiplayer is quite solid in that game, I think most people, because of the 40k lore, having a single player game that is so good, that the polish was so nice, and having that like just being in that world was really fun, and being in and the continuation of that story. Not to mention the actual the way the gameplay loop is set out in the single player, it felt very reminiscent of like PS3 days kind of gameplay. So from that standpoint, multiplayer wise, I don't think that the Space Marine 2 holds a candle to what Helldivers 2, as a live service game as well, did for multiplayer games. And I don't think Tekken 8 is very good, don't get me wrong. But I think that's more of a better as a fighting game rather than a multiplayer game. And I think Super Mario Party Jamboree is because it's so family friendly, I don't think it'll get as much traction as Helldivers 2 did. And so that's why I think Helldivers 2 is going to win. And obviously a close second would be Space Marine 2.
Fair.
Well, yeah, I can't. Yeah, Helldivers 2 definitely. They stand out this year. They did so well, So
And to be honest, like even with Call of Duty, it's still kind of early for it in relation to the other games.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only, to be honest, it's like it kind of came out, had its hype, but already it's kind of like came out later and it's kind of already kind of dipping off. Had a very like good opening doors, but then you had stuff like bug issues. I think some of the samey things kind of like, it kind of became a bit of like, okay, you've added some new stuff, but rinse and repeat almost. So I feel like it's up there because it did have such a good early start, like in terms of opening, but it fell very quickly. Even in terms of zombies, which normally retains it for so long, even the zombies didn't hold the hardcore zombie players as long.
I think so. I think we're all on a consensus that we believe Helldivers 2 should take the multiplayer game of the year, basically. Yeah. However, I think it might be Call of Duty a Super Mario. The reason being, as I've said before, follow the money and never underestimate the sales numbers of Nintendo and the amount of people dedicated to every iteration of Call of Duty to drop no matter what. So, although I think Helldivers 2 is deserving of that category, and I would like that to win. And I think we all think that. Whether or not that is the case, we will see. Because, Super Mario Party on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch sells numbers, it's a very common household thing right now. And a party game with all the characters that the whole family can play together, that can sell gangbusters, Just because we as the type of gamers that a lot of us are, maybe not playing it as deep as that, doesn't mean they're not selling gangbusters. Their numbers might be crazy, as well as Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It's here all the time for a reason. So yeah, we will wait to see who wins that category. Again, love it to be Helldivers because they did change the game of multiplayer for this year. However, never underestimate the competitors.
Our Nintendo, fair enough. I get it. So maybe Super Mario Party is the only one I would say that. If it won, I wouldn't be surprised. But I would be surprised if Black Ops 6 won because it just feels like the same Call of Duty than the last 4. So yeah, I'll be surprised if that wins.
That's true. But people are voting for this, so we have to also take in consideration fan base. And by sheer volume of people playing Call of Duty, they might win because of the numbers rather than the quality of the product. Anyway,
that's wild. But
maybe people that play Call of Duty are more attuned to filling out forms and voting online than people that play Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean? There's lots of external factors.
I have never. The only time I've ever seen a Call of Duty player have the patience to fill out a form is when they're being racist. With all due respect, okay? Come now, please. Let's be reasonable here.
I mean, there's a lot to say about that, but let me just mind my business on that point and move on to the next point. Okay, so the next one is Best Narrative, and the nominations are, this is for Outstanding Storytelling and Narrative Development in a Game. It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refanzio, Cernus's Saga Hellblade 2, and then Silent Hill 2 as well. So who do we think is... to start off with this one, my vote is definitely for Final Fantasy. Obviously, I was new to Final Fantasy, started the series off last year, and I really, really enjoyed Rebirth, and I thought it was a nice story, very well done. So I think it might be that, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of... We reviewed Metaphor, and that's been getting so much hype.
Fantastic.
So what do you think?
Absolutely. I'm in absolute agreement with you, except for everything that you just said. So let's go back.
Trifling.
I think Metaphor Refantasio is fun enough. I think that game of all the wokeness going around about how the 2 woke 2 broke crowd. That game is the most woke game I've ever seen in my entire life, and I bloody love it. It's it talks about very, very mature themes in a very understandable way. It puts you in the character's shoes. It's this is the game that has outstanding storytelling and narrative development written all over it. The only way I ever compare this is probably Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 was very good because I actually played that. But Metaphor Refantasio, I think that's where it's going. If I'm being honest, that's where it's going. And the reason why I love Silent Hill, and the reason why I don't say Silent Hill 2 is because it's a remake, and that's the only reason why. Otherwise, Silent Hill 2 is also an absolute banger when it comes to its storytelling. But Final Fantasy Rebirth, I think it's basically gonna sweep a lot of awards, and this might be one of them. But I think it should go to Metaphor.
Oh yeah, no, I heard that.
Metaphor is what I want it to be, but I think it's gonna go to Final Fantasy.
Okay, I think I agree with Obsidian that it should probably be Metaphor Refantasio because Atlas and their RPGs, they just kill it every time. Yeah, Silent Hill's a remake. Silent Hill 2's a remake. Also, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, kind of a remake. Yeah, they've adjusted the story, but a lot of the foundational work of what the story is already done. So I don't know about that. I would like Yakuza to win again. I would like a Dragon Infinite Wealth to win. Yeah, because honestly, them games are sick, and they just need all the flowers they can get. Man, they need all of them. But although that's who I want to win.
Somebody's a plot. Somebody's a paid actor.
But like, although I really want like a Dragon Infinite Wealth to win, I think deservingly Metaphor ReFantazio, because I haven't heard any bad words about it. I haven't seen anything bad about it. Like, it's just gameplay is Atlas just do work when it comes to RPGs, and quality on quality.
That was the first game that made me want to look at JRPGs seriously again. Because I've
Bruv,
never...
if you enjoyed Metaphor, go back and play some of the Personas, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, go back and play some of the Personas.
All right. Okay. Well, I also think that I do like it when a sort of I guess we've already done a podcast about remakes and remasters, and it's always nice when something new and different can take the crown as well.
I've got 3 categories I want to go through because I know it's going to start beef. So, okay, best fighting game. It's between Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighter Collection, Multiverses, or Tekken 8. Now, Oji Otaku, I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to tell you what's going to be, okay?
What?
It's going to be Tekken 8. It's going to be Tekken 8. I want it to be Dragon Ball... Heresy. Blasphemy. I want it to be Sparking Zero, but I honestly think it might go to Tekken 8.
All right, I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. Again, my previous statement, follow the money. Like, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero sold more than double Tekken 8 ever dreamt of. Who's gonna win? Yeah, Sparking. I told everyone it's gonna get nominated. Everyone's like, what, Sparking for Fighting Game of the Year? Yeah, it's there now, and now it's gonna win.
Yeah, it's definitely winning. I mean, even I'd bet my money on that. Hello?
Fair enough. Okay, best debut indie game. You know me, I love my indie games, so I've always wanted to try and do a shout out for best indie game. Balatro, Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. Now, me, Balatro. There is something about that game. Like, when you're like, it's not one of those games where you can watch it and have fun. You have to play it. And then once you start playing it, it just has its hooks in you, and I just don't know how. Like,
that's why I haven't played it, because I'm scared. Because people that start playing Balatro, that's all they play. Like, that's all they're gone. They're lost. So I ain't opening that rabbit hole, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stay away.
I've got two more, and then we can go to Game of the Year, okay? So there's best community support. It's Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy XIV. I can't remember what that one. There's so many Final Fantasy. Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. Baldur's Gate.
Surely.
No, Baldur's Gate 3, they released a new mod. I mean, they released a new patch that allowed so much more mod support. When I tell you how this opens the door to the shenanigans and tomfooleries, I'm telling you, it's winning it. I'm telling you right now, it's winning it. Don't get me wrong, Fortnite is up there, obviously. At this point, it's an honorable mention because it's been there since it's come out.
Honorable mention? I mean, go on, because I would say, I'm thinking Fortnite will probably take it.
Yeah, if we're talking about fan base.
If we're talking about fan
base. Voting.
No.
Fan base is insane.
But No Man's Sky, I think they deserve it because No Man's Sky stuff, they've done the clutch of clutch. They've pulled back basically a failure into something that is fantastic. Like, so I do believe they deserve it, but I think that people will say, the reason why I don't think Helldivers 2 is going to get it, because when you think of best community support, because of the controversy before, it's like community support in that kind of aspect. So I think that's why it's not going to get it. Just putting that out there. But Fortnite is, to me, it's between Fortnite, Baldur's Gate 3. I want No Man's Sky to win, but I don't want Fortnite to win. But I think Baldur's Gate is going to win.
The reason I think Fortnite will win is because anyone who's ever logged into Fortnite recently will know that's nothing but a bunch of community created maps. Like, Fortnite itself got like 8 game modes or whatever, and then there's like thousands of other creative maps and game modes and stuff that you can do created by the community, and Fortnite provide a lot of support for that, for people to create. There's even these concerts and stuff that people watch and go to and live events. Someone created that, you know, on a community map. So that's why I think for that reason alone, Fortnite might take it.
Okay, but Games to Impact, basically, quick and sweet, I think Tales of Conserva should win it, Zao, because one, it's a fantastic game, and number 2, the kind of hate that it's receiving is really pissing me off because of a lot of these people haven't played the game and they're just kind of riding the wave. A lot of grifters. So I want that to win it, just to shut them down forever. But yeah, go to the Game of the Year.
I think that Tales of Conserva should win it. Not for the haters, but for the supporters. If we're talking about genuine game of impact, that did have a lot of impact. It was lovely to see a game that was in so much culture and rich and things like that. You know, I think for what the award is saying about an impactful game, it was definitely an impactful game for a very positive reason. And obviously, a small minority of people didn't like it for whatever racist reasons they were talking about, but for the majority, people loved that game. It was really nice. There was so much culture in that game. The story was good. It was lovely. So I think it deserves to win it for that reason.
I
It
also
has my
think
vote for
that
sure.
of the ones I haven't played the other ones, so I don't want to give my full opinion on them. But I know that Life is Strange, the double exposure, I know that did very well, and I know you played it. But I know
I
that
love
Life
that
is
game.
Strange. Yeah, I
I
know Life
did.
is Strange. Like it just has there's something about it that just has like the way it's able to like convey the empathy or like the
Mm.
decisions that you make in that game. So those are my two.
Yeah, I think that was a brilliant game, but I Tales of Kinzera has my.
Oh yeah, definitely. Completely agree.
Okay, now on to Game of the Year. So we obviously already did our what we thought was going to win Game of the Year, and some of what we said is actually here in terms of the nominations. But the nominations are Astrobot, Balatro,
Balatro.
Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring: Shadow of the El Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
You see me, yeah?
Almost everything we said.
You see me, yeah?
Okay.
I'm basically a prophet when it comes to games. Okay?
Okay.
Everything I said because I looked back in the video, I said it's gonna be Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree, and I said people are gonna be mad about it because it's DLC, and some people didn't like the DLC. But then I mentioned The Witcher, not Blood and Wine. I think it was The Witcher. Was it Witcher Blood and Wine or was it The Witcher The Wild Hunt? One of them had a DLC that also got nominated for like a category. So people weren't as up in arms then, but people are up in arms now because it's in the Game of the Year category. So people are like, why is this in the Game of the Year category? I also said Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was going to be nominated, and I'm 2 for 2. And I also said that Balatro should be nominated, so that makes me 3 for 3. No. Oh, and I said, honorable mention, I said Wukong should be up there. So I'm 4 for 4, okay? I'm that guy, okay? You guys need to get onto my level, okay? But now that you're here, let's discuss. So, Game of the Year. Who do I think is going to go to? Like I said before, when it comes to Game of the Year, what game has defined the year? Like when you think of 2024, what game do you think of immediately? Right?
It's Black Myth Wukong for sure.
I
We're
think so
talking
as well.
about what do I want to win? Astrobot.
Why?
What? Why?
Okay. Because that game was so cute. It was so freaking cute. And PlayStation
was.
turned
I
30.
get it.
But if I'm talking about even people who didn't know anything about gaming were talking about like, oh, what's this Black Myth Wukong? It's making so much noise and that sort of thing. In terms of impact, like in terms of like the game of the year that people have been talking about, people are playing that sort of thing. So I think it might go to Black Myth, but if it was up to me, if it was up to me, Assassin's Creed would have been there. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
You used to let it go.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. It would have been released. It would have been there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a coin toss between Astrobot and Black Myth Wukong.
It's not Astrobot. I'm sorry. Like, listen, bro. I'm sorry. It's not Astrobot. Like, I like
Astrobot?
Astrobot. I like it. It's a very cute platformer, and I like it. But Game of the Year, Astrobot? Yo, no, come now. Like,
Put some respect on Astrobot's name.
no,
Yeah?
I'm not. I'm not
He's
trying to be
been-
disrespectful.
he's been
But I'm
PlayStation's
just saying.
mascot.
Like, listen, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree. That
It's
when
not
it
going to
came
Elden
out.
Ring. You better get out of here with that.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's Elden Ring, but I'm just saying, like, in comparison, I think that me personally, like when it comes to, if I find an indie game in the Game of the Year award, automatically my what you call it, my vote goes there automatically because it's an indie game. They had much harder hurdles to overcome to get to become a game that good to be
True.
nominated for Game of the Year.
True.
So
Yeah.
for me, I always respect the amount of, and I'm not saying that not a lot of hard work went into the other games, but I'm just saying that when it comes to indie games, the hurdles are different and the hurdles are harder. Let's just be straight up, okay? So Balatro automatically will always get my vote. But and now, if I was going to be selfish and say that, what do I really think, or like what do I think based on the game? I would say that it's going to be. I think the reason why a lot of attention was on Black Myth Wukong is because also there was a lot of controversy around it as well, like during the release because of the studio and their beef with IGN. So I think there was a lot of controversy around that, and people are like, "Oh, we want this game to do well because of to try and fight back against the man and that kind of thing. So a lot of hype was surrounded by that. I think Metaphor Refantasio is deserved as well, but I think it might go to Final Fantasy Rebirth because
What?
it's its own game. So some people might not like Shadow of the Erdtree winning because it's a DLC. I don't think people know enough about Metaphor Refantasio, and I think so. It's between Final Fantasy Rebirth and Black Myth Wukong. But I want Balatro to win.
TJ, what about you?
Yeah, obviously Black Myth Wukong. Like I said that again. Check the podcast, guys. Yeah, go back, rewatch them episodes, and before it came out, I was saying Game of the Year. Then it came out, and I still said Game of the Year. Yeah, so trust, it's still the same motive, people. Black Myth Wukong, Game of the Year. People, there's whole generations out here. Yeah, whole generations that didn't even know what a Monkey King was. Yeah, talking about what the guy that looks like that Goku fellow. Yeah, nah. Black Myth Wukong put the Monkey King back on the map. Yeah, ancient lore for people. Yeah, go back and watch them old TV shows. Right. So for that fact alone, if 2025 and 2026 ain't got no big blockbuster, Journey to the West movies coming out, trust. Black Myth Wukong was the one that set pace for that, yeah. So obviously Game of the Year. I don't know. Honorable mention, Metaphor can have it because Atlas just cook for everything. Like I know the quality bar's high, but real talk, Wukong always. And yeah, everyone loves Elden Ring, but allow a DLC, bruv. Come on.
It's true, Loki.
No.
Zen, what about you?
I think it's probably. I have to say out of those games, for me it would probably have to be like Wukong because, to be honest, like obviously my niche is very different, but but I think the thing that helped Black Myth Wukong, I want to also say like media, like it got me. Like some of the song choices that people had with some of the fighting scenes got me thinking, yo, this game is hard. Like already it looked hard, but some of the edits that people did, like the fighting scenes with the music and like that's not normally like the type of game that I'll be into. But then when I saw the way that even down to how he walks backwards with the cane, yeah, with the stick, was hard. Like it was just the movement just made me think this guy's hard. I want to play it just because of how he looks and how he interacts. Like even how he was just like the cutscenes as well. Like it was good. Like it just made someone who's not really into those type of games. So imagine someone like me who's not usually into those type of games now joins the people who are. So that's why I feel like it would just edge it a bit more because there were certain people who were just like, no, Elden Rings, all of that. Yes, I like looking at and watching it, but do I want to play it? No. But then someone like me who's just like, you know what? I want to actually play this game because of obviously if you are into the mythology of it and then also just how it did look and how the game, like the combos and stuff and just like some of the bosses and just how it looked in general. Yeah, I feel like that's what will give it that edge.
You must be strong. You must not fall for the Instagram edits and the power fantasies. You must be strong. You must be strong.
Listen, them Instagram edits, were like they were bad. They were weak. I was weak. Let me say, I was like, no, do you know what? This game. Let me see what the fuss is. One or two of them with the soundtrack, and I'm seeing the combos. I'm like, yo, I watched a mini movie. I had a little mini saga in my head. I was like, I need to play this game.
You must be strong, my friend. You must be strong. Listen, you must resist it.
I was gonna be the people that I complain about with Anzi when we're playing Apex. That watch that one little demon on YouTube, and then think, they're the next NRG first team roster, like they're gonna come on and do that because they're saying that Gibby's meta, and then come and slap it out. So I was about to go on to Black, but I knew my limits. I knew that I was gonna get smoked. But I was thinking in my head, yeah, like no, I'm gonna slap them.
Okay.
Man said with the cane, yeah, that extends. Man said extra reach, bruv. You ain't running from me.
I can't. Okay, well, yeah, I think, Astrobot for the win. Astrobot for the win. Astrobot for the win.
It had
Astrobot.
cute. It had like cute. What you call it? Like Easter eggs in there. Like I saw some. I saw the.
They just did so well with that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of them. For one, I saw what's that motorbike game called? I can't remember it. Days Gone.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of them. So yeah, it's very cute, but I don't think that it's gonna.
I don't know if it's going to be a game. I think for me, the game that's made like a lot of impact for this year would probably be Final Fantasy, because obviously I'm just new to that series. I think Loki, did they snub Dragon Age the Veilguard? They haven't not mentioned, that's not in any category, or is it too new?
It is. No, it's in
Oh, okay. So I think I think it might go to Black Myth. I think it might, but I think I really like Final Fantasy. Metaphor, the whole roster is actually Balatro. It's very difficult. It's such a stacked roster.
Obsidian, I'm sorry, but like a pixel card game is not beating the Monkey King, bruv. Like think about it.
People will play it, people will like it, people will play it, and they'll put it down. Balatro, it's got its hooks in you in a good way. That's why. So
Balatro's forever.
So it's not really a card game against Black Myth. It's addiction against Black Myth. And we both know who would win in that one. There's no existential threat. There's no demon I have to fight. There's no person I have to become. It's just a good game that you can play with people and by yourself.
That in itself deserves to be Game of the Year. Then if it's just a good game that you can play with people, I think that's the main thing. We want more games like that as well. But I guess we'll see very soon, and then we'll obviously record the podcast after we find out the results.
I can't wait for you guys to find
quite
out
soon.
how long you are.
But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. Let us know your comments as well. Who you guys think should win or want to win. I've been here with OG Attaku.
Keep it OG, peeps.
Obsidian Fury.
The prophet himself. In a bit, my people.
Okay. And Zen.
Make it easy.
And it's been your hostess with the mostest, creatively Anzi. And this is the Melanin Gamers podcast. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.